Hello, A. Scott Roberts here. Taming your thoughts, your fears and anxieties about quitting and the situations you might find yourself in will be of great help, but you should also physically prepare your brain and body. When you do this, quitting becomes easier when you're in good health. But why is this? Research has shown that those who struggle with addiction often have depleted and malfunctioning neurotransmitters. They have malfunctioning neurotransmitters in the brain. This is because the repeated overstimulation of the limbic reward center in the brain caused by the months and the years of using your drug of choice. When we continually overstimulate our brain, whether it be tobacco or alcohol or overconsumption of sugar or sexual addiction, whatever it might be, the brain is thrown off its natural homeostatic state, meaning its natural balanced state. Research has shown that receptors, which are cells in the brain, become less responsive over time after all this overstimulation from the addiction. Since the brain likes to keep everything balanced, when repeatedly overstimulated, it starts to think it is producing too many chemicals and tries to compensate by becoming less responsive. It stops producing as many chemical messengers or neurotransmitters on its own. As a result, when you quit, you feel those terrible lows. So what should you do? You should restore the brain through proper nutrition. The reason being is that neurotransmitters are synthesized by nutrition, and using the right nutrition can dramatically impact how we feel. There's another reason why using key nutrients is very beneficial. Those who struggle with using substances such as drugs or alcohol are often actually in poorer health. Alcoholics, for example, are often malnutritioned even when they don't know it, and many a times they don't know it. The reason being is that alcohol is empty calories. It makes one feel full when they actually aren't. If you ask someone who is addicted if they would either eat a full healthy breakfast in the morning or use their drug of choice, they would choose their drug of choice. This is because addiction becomes priority to them and other things are pushed to the side, including feeding the brain and body with proper nutrition. You should understand that addicted individuals have a greater need for nutritional intake than those who are not addicted. Those who desire to quit need to supply the brain with targeted nutrients so they can feel better naturally and keep neurotransmitter level up. Another reason why we do this is because, as research has repeatedly shown, those who do not have proper nutrient intake experience much stronger cravings and urges and emotional negative states, which makes quitting much harder. Nutrition is so very important, and what I would encourage is to focus on healthy protein-rich foods. Protein contains building blocks called amino acids, and one amino acid, tyrosine, for example, produces dopamine, so we can feel better because our brain is getting the nutrition it needs. It is well documented that it works. Charles Grant, a medical doctor, gave certain nutrients to his patients with addictions, and he discovered that proper nutrients added to their diet decreased addictive behavior by 83%. That is huge compared to conventional treatment outcomes. There are several studies at MIT and Harvard that have confirmed that using amino acids to increase neurotransmitters in participants led to diminishing depression, cravings, anxiety, and stress. What makes it even more powerful, though, is to combine proper nutrition with meditation and exercise. And this is why. We all know that meditation is very beneficial. Research has shown us that it helps us to exercise our decision-making part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, and that part helps us to keep our urges and cravings in check. In an amazing study in 2005, Dr. Sarah Lazar from Harvard University demonstrated that meditators had significantly more neural density in the prefrontal cortex. She found that meditation changes the brain in a very beneficial way, most notably strengthening the decision part of the brain. In a 2002 study found in the American Journal of Psychology, Goldstein and other researchers found that addicted individuals actually lacked or had an underactive prefrontal cortex. But meditation is something that teaches our brain to operate in a different way, strengthening this area. Instead of getting caught up in the thoughts, urges, and cravings, we practice redirecting our attention, existing with an urge instead of giving in, and allows urges and cravings to pass instead of getting caught up in them. This is why the brain changes as a result, because we start to respond differently than we did in the past. So key nutrients help us to keep neurotransmitter level up. Meditation assists the rewiring of the brain, and exercise in a cardiovascular way helps with what is called neurogenesis, otherwise known as the growth and strengthening of neurons in the brain. Research has shown that physical exercise, such as walking, jogging, or biking, promotes this neurogenesis. Exercise increases blood to the brain, and research shows results in an increase of cell proliferation and promotes the survival of newly acquired neurons. These types of exercises have also been shown to assist the regulation of neurological chemistry and repairs receptor sites within the brain. So restoring the brain through proper nutrition, meditating, and exercising can be extremely helpful to replenish, stabilize, and improve brain function, and to make yourself feel better naturally.